Come hither, thine YouTube audience, and watch ye old entertainment zone as we discuss the mighty Thor. Hi everyone, I'm Ben Maiden and welcome to Entertainment Zone. We are here today to talk about Thor. I've just got back from an advanced screening here in the UK of Thor, and let me start off by saying it really did meet my expectations. It was pretty good. This review will contain no spoilers until the very end, and I will alert you when those spoilers are going to come up, so that way no one can say they got spoiled by me. You have been warned and you will be warned. Okay, so yes, Thor, what a movie. It's the latest release by Marvel Studios, based on the comic book by the same name by Stan Lee, who as usual has a cameo, but I'll reveal what that is in the spoiler section. So let's crack on with the review. Yes, it really did meet my expectations. It was a really good movie. I enjoyed it. Visually, it was amazing. Asgard looked incredible. It was just magnificent. It really was. And, you know, the homeworld of the frost giants, I forget its name right now. It'll come to me, maybe. That looked great too. That really did. And you know, even the stuff on Earth, it was filmed really well. And you know, the action scenes were pretty good too, because you know, Kenneth Brannagh, he is a Shakespearean guy. You know, he's made a lot of Shakespeare adaptations, and you know, that's his strength. And when I heard he was going to be the director, I was pleased, because you know, Thor kind of, you know, links into all of that. You know, it's Old Norse Viking mythology, and so it's stuff in the past, and I felt Branagh was good with that. But you know, I did have the concern of he's never really done action apart from Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and that film was kind of, yes. So anyway, he surpassed my expectations, and he did a cracking job. I had a lot of faith in him, but he did even better than I could imagine. It was a really visually amazing film. The action sequences were great, and you know, just the dialogue was great. It's really well written, and you know, the characters, they were really good performances. And as I said, the film was visually stunning. But this is probably a good time to bring up the 3D in the movie. I only had the choice of seeing it in 3D, so obviously I did. But I can honestly say it brought nothing to the film whatsoever. It was converted into 3D, and it kind of shows. I mean, some of the scenes of Asgard, they look great in 3D, but apart from that, it felt completely unnecessary. It just looked like it was correcting the picture that you'd see if you didn't have the glasses on. It just didn't create too much depth, and there was nothing flying out at you. Literally, the most thing that was flying out with you at you were like, if like words came up on the bottom, or you know, the Paramount logo at the beginning. Yes, so sadly the 3D did feel unnecessary, and it's a shame really, because I think Thor could have really benefited even further by the use of 3D. I think Captain America is going to be converted too, and if they're going to go 3D in Avengers, I really hope they film in 3D, but who knows, who knows. So yeah, you might be able to save yourself a bit of money seeing it in 2D, because I honestly can't say the 3D made any difference whatsoever. But not that seeing it in 2D is a bad thing, because as I said, it was visually amazing. So still really good. Now I said just back then the acting was really strong, and boy was it. Let's start with Chris Hemsworth. You know, he is Thor, a relatively unknown actor, and he did a great job. He personified him great. How I have always imagined Thor in the comic books, you know, Hemsworth personified it. He was really great. He was a good actor. He had the accent right. he could fight, you know, he was strong. He was Thor. He looked like Thor. He was Thor. Anthony Hopkins was great. Now, I've always said, half jokingly, half seriously, oh, Brian Blessed should have been Odin. But, you know, Anthony Hopkins is a better actor. And as Odin, he did a pretty good job, you know. He had that authoritative figure, that father figure, and the king. You know, he did a really good job. He was made to play that role, and I'll admit it was good casting. Natalie Portman, she's amazing anyway. She's a great actress, and she gave a great performance as Jane Foster. Jane in the comic books was just a nurse, but they've made her more of an astrophysicist in this film, and it makes more sense, and you'll see why. But yeah, she did a really good performance. Idris Elba as Heimdall, he was cool. He was cool. There was a lot of complaining when he got cast, saying, "Oh, but Heimdall's not black." If that's an issue for you, then why? Doesn't matter, you know. He gave a good performance as Heimdall. He did. But the standout performance in this for me was Tom Hiddleston as Loki. He was great. He could switch from kind to cunning to lying to pure evil so well, and he really made Loki the slimy snake of a villain that he really is. And his performance was excellent. He, for me, by far was the best actor in that film, and he's hoping we will be seeing him in Avengers. But yeah, he was just great. And you know, the rest of the cast was great too, like Stellan Skarsgård. He plays a doctor who's friends with Natalie Portman's character Jane. And you know, the Warriors 3 were there, you know, Fandral, Hogan and Volstagg, and so was Sif. So it was great seeing all the characters from the comic books in the movie, and they were all really true to the characters. Story-wise, yeah, it was good. It spent ample time in both Asgard and Earth. It was believable, you know, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe they're creating. We had Agent Coulson from Iron Man in the film too. He's got a bigger presence in Thor. And yeah, it just was a tight story, and it did drama well. It did action really well. It did comedy too. It does have light comedy tones to it as well. You know, kind of like Iron Man. It's a good mashup of everything, and there was some romance in there too between Thor and Jane. So yeah, the story was spot on, and there was a post-credit scene. I actually didn't stay and see that, but as soon as I got home, I was just like, oh, there was one, because I had to leave. But there was one, and I've watched it. But I'll reveal that when we go into the spoilers. But yeah, on the whole, it was a really, really good movie, really strong. It was, you know, just like Iron Man, it was a great move by Marvel, and you know, it's just making things even closer to the Avengers now, and making me even more excited. But it definitely exceeded my expectations. Thor, it was really good, but you know, the 3D, as I said, was a bit unnecessary. I'd probably give Thor 4 out of 5 stars, even though I really enjoyed it. I don't think I could give it 5 out of 5. So on the whole, it was a pretty good movie. Good story, good casting. It's something that I think people of all ages will really enjoy. As I said, the 3D, it's there as an option, but personally I didn't think it brought much. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars for me. Pretty good movie. So we'll go on to the spoilers now. I've not got many spoilers that I want to discuss, but there are some biggies. Oh boy. So if you haven't seen Thor and don't want to be spoiled, stop watching now. You have been warned. Okay, so if you're still watching, either you've seen Thor and you're happy to continue watching this, or you just want to be spoiled. Okay, so first let's talk about Stan Lee's cameo. This time around, he's a truck driver who's trying to pull Thor's hammer out of the ground by tying, you know, chain from his truck to the hammer. and it ends up not working. So a good little cameo from Stan Lee. But Stan Lee wasn't the only person to make a cameo. Oh no. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Renner made his debut as Hawkeye. Oh yes. Hoo-hoo! What a fanboy moment. Everyone was just like, oh my god, it's Hawkeye, oh my god. You know, here we had Thor, you know, trying to break into the facility they've built around his hammer that's been cast down into the ground, and Agent Coulson sending SHIELD agents to try and stop him, including Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner. You know, there's a scene and the security guard, or that's who we think it's going to be, goes to grab a gun, but then chooses to take a bow and arrow instead, and it was revealed to be Hawkeye. So pretty awesome stuff. Couldn't believe it. I just want to mention as well that the Destroyer was a pretty cool villain as well. Loki was the main villain, and his treachery in this film is great, and it does explore his proper origins. You know, that he is half frost giant too, which I was really pleased with. But yeah, him summoning the Destroyer, which destroys things, was pretty awesome. And there's the post-credit scene. As I said, I didn't stick around for it, but I have seen it already, and it was pretty awesome. Again, we have Samuel L. Jackson once again as Nick Fury, and he goes to meet Stellan Skarsgård's character, who is the doctor who knows Jane Foster, and he shows him the cosmic cube, and you know, he doesn't know what it is. He's like, oh, what's this? And he's like, it could be unlimited power, you know, or something along those lines. And it was just like, whoa, that is the cosmic cube. Could this be a big part of Avengers? Who knows? But then we see the camera pans and we see Loki stood next to Stellan Skarsgård, and he says, that could be interesting. And then Stellan Skarsgård says the same thing. So it kind of implies that, you know, Loki's possessing him, and that you know, that he's going to be the villain in Avengers, because at the end of the movie of Thor, Loki's presumed dead. You know, he plummets to what we think is his death, but no, he's here and he's making his next move. So it is looking like Loki is going to be one of, if not the main villain of Avengers. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, all in all, Thor was a great movie. It's worth checking out. Good Marvel blockbuster. Definitely, you know, worthy of success, and I hope it's going to do really well at the box office. I would recommend going to see it, whether it's in 2D or 3D. Be sure to check it out. Okay, so if you've seen Thor, let me know your thoughts on it in the comments. If you've got any questions you want to ask me about the movie as well, leave a comment and let me know. I'll be happy to answer as many of those that I can. And if you want to make sure you never miss an edition of Entertainment Zone, then be sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys very soon, hopefully. So take care, guys, and speak to you soon.